Hola, buenos dias, good morning everybody, good morning line makers. Estoy aquí en las calles de la Ciudad de México, en la colonia de Roma Norte. Hoy is lunes, it's Monday. And you know what's really nice is the heat wave has ended. I have to wear a little scarf around my neck. I went for a little bike ride, otherwise I would probably be wearing a jacket, but yeah. The normal weather has returned. It's a little overcast. It'll probably, hopefully, be raining in the afternoons once again, because we're in that same heat wave as, of course, San Miguel and Texas and stuff like that. Huge heat dome is what they called it, right? I know it was very dangerous in Texas and in northern Mexico. I mean, it was dangerous here too, and hopefully it has ended. So I'm here on the streets, had a little bike ride, having my latte. I have officially gotten over the whole sugar in my coffee thing. That was hard because it really tasted bad for a few days. But now it's okay. It's okay. I want you all to know that I'm able to comfortably drink my coffee. Once again, in case you were worrying, no need. Good morning, salud. If you're having your coffee, your tea, your water, your wine, whatever it is you do in the morning, no judgment, buenos dias. So I've got my line book here, my warm-up, my drawing warm-ups. That's what I'm trying to say. My words are jumbling all together here. This is the first time I've spoken today, right? So it's sometimes can be a little slow moving, huh? Yeah, so, boy, you know, this group is really growing, and I just want to say welcome to any new people who may be watching today. Welcome to any people who are, just getting started on their line-making journey. It can be a little intimidating at first just because you go, I mean, I remember saying it too, like, oh my God, you did that with one freaking line? Yeah, it's possible, right? It's possible because the one line, when you lean into your one line, it teaches you how to move forward. And I think that's such a great tool for 2023 and moving forward, because I think we're all going to need a little help. Myself, I'm speaking directly for myself. I need a little help moving forward, moving through, walking through the chaos of our lives, right? The drama. Is it drama or is it chaos? Or is it chaotic drama? I mean, any given time you look at the news and you're like, my goodness, right? Like that heat thing was pretty serious. And I know Texas is really suffering. Other states too. Northern Mexico, livestock, cows. I always think of cows, right? And there's other animals out there too. But I've been wearing my cow. This necklace is made of polished cow horn. They're cow horn balls. So I'm wearing it in honor of all the livestock that had to endure this heat. And people too, right? Anyways, this is what this is how I get going, right? I sit down to do my lines and I start thinking about the issues in today's world, right? Politics, Titanic. Oh my God, Titanic. Isn't that an interesting, I mean, sad and tragic, but just weird how it just brings up so many things, right? The history of the Titanic, right? And the division of class and whoo. All right, so I'm going to get started with my lines. Which way do I want to go? I'm going to go this way just because it doesn't really matter, but I tend to get into a rut and want to just do the same thing when I start doing my drawing lines, my warm-up lines. And so I always, hola, I always push myself to try to do, try to go in from a different entry point, right? And so quite simply, I'm just making lines. I'm just conditioning my arm to move across the page and to not stop, even if I get fearful, right? That's oftentimes what happens when people are drawing is we get fearful and we stop, right? We just go, oh, I don't know what to do. I can't draw. I don't know how to do this, so I'm just going to stop, right? So by conditioning yourself to just keep moving through, you are conditioning yourself to just keep moving through. Which, honestly, in 2023, it's a vital tool to have in your arsenal to know how to keep moving through, right? To just be able, whatever fears or concerns you have, to just continue to move forward, right? I mean, this is why, yes, it's drawing, and yes, it's a practice, and yes, it's really cool to be an artist, but for me, it's also a way of life, right? Like, I'm living here in Mexico City, and sometimes it can be scary, not because Mexico City is scary, but just the sheer size of it, right? The sheer size of it, and I'm here by myself, sometimes the massiveness of it all. And, you know, there's big concerns, like with water and all kinds of things, right? So sometimes I can get a little freaked out being here in Mexico City and by myself. I have some acquaintances, but I really don't know a lot of people, right? So it's been slow going there, right? So as a way to sort of stay in my skin, not leave my body, I just start drawing, right? I just draw. Yeah. I just draw. And I never know, what's so cool is, like, I never know where it's going to lead me. Yesterday I went to there was a printmakers expo at Los Pinos, which is the presidential residence for Mexico, but their president doesn't live there because he's a maverick. So the White House, the Mexican White House, they use it now for exhibits, which is super cool. Yesterday they had, I went there, well, not yesterday, it's an ongoing exhibit, but they have huge dinosaur skeletons. And some of them are covered in huichol with beads and stuff like that. So, you know, the whole thing was like super cool. They had music playing. There were, so the printmakers, that was super cool. Printmakers from all over Mexico. I mean, got amazing prints, right? And there was an organic seed expo there as well. And I'm in organics, right? So I love all that stuff. And there was a group of gentlemen, musicians, dancers from the state of Hidalgo, and they were little white, they were wearing these white suits. They were like this, they came up to me. I felt very tall, right? There was like 12 of them, maybe more. Anyways, I just pulled up my pen and my sketchbook and I started drawing them as they were dancing. They were doing the seed dance, from what I understand. And as they ended their gig, their band manager or something said, I saw him. He was like, hey, she's drawing you. They said it in Spanish, but he's like, look at her. And I was like standing in a corner. I wasn't like front and center. And all of a sudden, all these guys, these gentlemen in white with crowns and amulets, and they had gourds and cool sandals, they all came and stood around me. I felt like I was like, it was kind of weird because I was like, oh my God, because they came in and standing right around me as I was drawing, and I hadn't really gotten much drawing done, and they were like, oh wow. I mean, I felt like a magician, right? Like this is why I do it, because I love the feeling of being a magician, right? Like, and I can remember years ago saying to myself, oh, I wish I need more magic in my life, but I didn't know what that meant. Does that mean I have to get a rabbit and pull it out of a hat? No, in my case, what it means is that I over time, I've learned how to draw, and my drawing is improving, and I like to draw on location, and so there's a whole dancing thing going on, and guys playing music, and I start drawing them, and they all came and stood around me I have photos, and they kept wanting me to come back for more photos, and then they were taking pictures of me, and then they were asking me, where are you from? And I said, Chicago. They're like, bang, bang, pizza. Bang, bang, pizza. I'm like, yeah, that's Chicago right there. Bang, bang, pizza. So I have these great little sketches. I'm going to post them today But honestly, that is why I do what I do, right? That's why I do these like line practices, because over time I have, to be standing there drawing people as they're dancing and then they know you're drawing them. It's a little like, oh my God, because then the people look at you, right? That whole thing. What is she doing? What is she doing, right? I kind of like to be in the background. I don't like to, especially when I'm drawing, right? Like I don't want to stand in the middle of everything, because then people go, oh. And but by doing that, right, by doing my putting in the work, right, putting in the work, making time for it. When I go out there and draw on location like that, I have a better command of my hand. I mean, it's not the greatest sketches in the world, but it's super fun, right? It's these guys dancing, they have these crazy crowns on and these wands, and they're little guys, right? Little older gentlemen, right? But they're little guys. They probably wouldn't like me calling them little guys, but yeah. Getting all riled up here. So this is why I do what I do, right? Because I love those magical encounters, right? I go out there by myself and I don't really know what's going to happen, and stuff like that happens, right? I get surrounded by a sea of dancers, male dancers, fully clothed, I'll have you know. All of a sudden I was thinking, wait, male dancers, what is that? I don't even know, because living in America, you don't really have male dancers. I suppose you have ballet dancers, but you're not going to run into them on the street when you're drawing them, right? This is why I love Mexico. This is why I love living in Mexico City, because these kinds of, they still honor, I mean, there's a lot of controversy about it, but they still honor controversy in the sense that a lot of cultures are being pushed out and a lot of traditions are being pushed out, right? That's happening around the world, right? But all that controversy aside, there's still a great deal of like celebrations and acknowledgments to be found and stumbled upon and adorned in your sketchbook, right? I mean, I know there's stuff in the U.S. too. I'm not trying to say, oh, everyone come live here, because I don't want that. But what I'm saying is I do love how Mexico does have a sense of acknowledging life and celebrating life through dance, through music, food, and oftentimes it's out on the streets, right? So, or public spaces, so you can be a part of it. Very cool. Mexico has a lot of public spaces. So this week, Thursday, is my conversation with Alejandro Anaya. He's my, I was going to say my longtime friend. I suppose so. I've known him like maybe 7 years or something. I don't know. I guess whenever he moved to San Miguel, which más o menos was, I don't know, the whole pandemic timing has me a little like, I don't remember. There's our previous life and then there's this life, right? Anyways, he's an amazing illustrator and printmaker, and he's also, for years, he worked in brand development here in Mexico, up north, I believe in Monterrey and in Mexico City. He has some amazing artistic chops. He's an illustrator, and he's a master at using mixed media in his illustration. And they're super intense, like in my mind, like they're super Mexican graphic, beautiful illustrations, very dramatic, very like high seas drama, right? He has quite a command of his pens and his mediums, right? So I have done workshops with him in the past, and so this time we're going to just have a chat about pens and inks and what best things to be using this day and age, not the easiest, but like easier access to some of these materials, right? Because I mean, unfortunately, many of us are defaulting to Amazon because it's easy. My God, could it be any easier? Just shows that you push a button and it shows up at your door, right? You don't have to go here in Mexico. Like everything is spread out. You have to go. There's no like going to the grocery store and getting what you need. You got to go to this store and that store and this store and that store, right? So Amazon does make it quite easy that way, right? And so he's going to let us know like what pens that we can easily get, what are affordable, worldwide, not just here. This will be informative no matter where you are in the world. He has a lot of knowledge about pens and even the brands and inks and how to clean, how to maintenance. And so we're going to be chatting about that and the use of mixed media, right? Oftentimes with our line drawings, we're just using ink. And there, I see Sheila's name here. Like Sheila, wonderful, lovely Sheila. She's doing all these amazing things with like getting her pre-coloring her backgrounds, right? And first of all, what I want to say about that is folks who are not doing like are here in the continuous line drawing group to practice your lines, it's totally okay to just focus on your lines. A lot of people are experimenting with color and doing color backgrounds and stuff like that. That's just because that's where they're taking their practice is taking them to other arenas as they grow their continuous line practice, right? So I don't want people for the folks who are just starting out and just doing lines, I don't want anyone to feel like, oh my God, look at all that. I have to now know how to do watercolor or watercolor inks, or, I have to like be prepping my paper days before the class or whatever. No, it's just some people just happen to be at that place, and it's an amazing thing to see the results people are getting, like Sheila, from just spending a little time the day before or whatever, experimenting with all kinds of different colored backgrounds, right? It's super cool. I'm loving watching it. And then we all draw from the same prompt, and to see all the different techniques from literally pencil lines, only pencil lines, to only ink lines, and then the sky's the limit, right? So, it's absolutely fine to stay. If you just want to practice your lines, that's the purpose of this group. Oftentimes I just focus on my lines. I like my lines to be the star, because oftentimes you can do a lot of work with your lines, and then if you cover it with color, you sometimes may lose your lines, but this is why we experiment, right? We experiment with how to do things, how to get things done, right? Not how to get things done like there's a finish line, but like how to achieve certain looks when you're developing your style, right? Like how can I get a beautifully colored background on this picture of the Singapore skyline, or the a scene from San Francisco or whatever it is. We draw all over the world, right? So Alejandro is going to just help us increase our knowledge of the pens we use and the pens that we may want to try, different other techniques that we may want to try in the exploration of creating our art. I'm going to say it again, super cool to just stay with the lines, right? That's what we're here for. If that's all you have time for, no shame in that, right? Just do your thing. One of the guidelines of the group is no comparing, right? Because comparing can really get you in trouble. We've all done it, me too. And Instagram and social media can make things look very simple because it looks like very minimal effort, because everything gets condensed and you sometimes only see the results. It can make things look super achievable with little amount of time or effort, and that's so not the case, because almost every artist I know is investing time, money, effort, energy, thought into creating their art, right? And oftentimes our lives have a lot of things that are tugging at us, right? Especially if you're still working full time for the man. Even just in life in general, right? There's just a lot of things tugging at us, right? So, in consideration of making your art, there oftentimes is a lot going in there. So while I think the continuous line is a great way to be efficient, and like my thing is like get in there, get the sketch, and go have lunch, right? Like that's what happened yesterday with these dancers, right? Like I just whipped out my pen and started drawing them, and I had a drawing, right? In my mind, I'm going, it's not very good. I didn't do this very good. And they all came over and they were like, whoa. like I'm looking at them like they're magicians because they are magicians. They're all dressed in white with crowns and things and flings and wands and gourds and bells, and they're magicians, right? I am too. I am too, and so are you. It's super cool to be a magician, right? And that, honestly, I'm here for the humanity of it all, and I'm here for the magic, right? I'm here for the humanity, right? Because that incident yesterday, Sundays can sometimes be a little like tough when I don't have anyone, around, and so just to like have that human connection is a nice thing. It's a very nice thing, right? Brief, it's brief connection, but it sort of changes my tone, right? Like, aw, wasn't that nice? It changed my tone, which is the humanity of it, right? That human connection, right? And then the magic is me drawing, right? Magic is me experiencing the drawing, right? It's not like, oh, Megan's a magician just because she draws. No, it's kind of how my take on it, right? Because a lot of people are drawing who don't even like consider the magic, right? And that's okay too, right? Oh no, smoking. All right, so I am going to finish this up. Oop. There we go. There we go. Finish big with a heart. Finish big with a heart. Can you see that? Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, I'm here for the humanity and I'm here for the magic, right? And in order to have that, you got to be connected to your heart, right? That can sometimes be very, very, very hard in 2023 to be connected with our heart, because everywhere we go, we're being encouraged to do anything but consider our heart, right? It's like make money, have things, go places, do things, look cool, be skinny, look great, wear this, not that, eat this, not that, right? So everything is pretty much focused on not the maternal, the material. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So, and that means, don't be connected to your heart, because, who has time for that ballyhoo, being connected to your heart, right? But I know that other people can relate to this. As we get older, it's like that's what you gotta have. You gotta be connected to your heart, right? You don't have the heart connection, what do you have, right? So, and that doesn't mean life isn't painful, because life is painful, right? Life can be hard, life can be tough decisions to make, loneliness, sadness, not having dogs, whatever it is, right? So by staying connected to the heart in your pursuit of art is the way to go, right? Look, there we go. Finish big with a heart. See, I already feel these are the lines, the chaos of my mind that I've just had to dump out onto the page, and as I'm sharing with all you lovely creatures there. I hope to see all of you in the fundamentals later today. Starts at 10 o'clock. Yeah, we still got time. And then Thursday we've got our illustrative tools with Alejandro Anaya, but I'll be sure to let you know all about that. That's free. It's open. I want the world to see it, because somebody said, well, you know what, that means like everyone can see it. And I was like, because it's not a pay thing, right? You don't have to pay to attend. And somebody said, well, that means that like anyone can see it. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want. I want to share what I can, right? And like, I can't give it all away. I have to charge for some things, right? Because this is my life. But where I can give things away, I'm going to, because I think it's important and people want to know, right? So anyways, everyone, have a great Monday. We're coming to the end of June. Isn't that amazing? I'm taking the fundamentals class with me to Chicago I'm going to be broadcasting live from Chicago, and of course, the class will be running as it does, except for one day, on Monday, July 8th. That's a travel day, so I'm doing one class. So anyways, I'll talk about that later. Have a great day. Finish big with a heart, and see you guys next time. Bye.